Hello and welcome to Empowered Learning. This video will be an example of how to do a stem and leaf plot via MyStatLab and using StatCrunch. So the problem says we have a survey recently went out to 15 university presidents across a certain country. The data represents the ages of different presidents. Use a stem and leaf plot that has 2 rows for each stem to represent their ages. And so we see we have the ages listed here. The first thing that we need to do is to sort all of these ages in ascending order, meaning from lowest age to highest age. The first thing that we want to do is, since we have StatCrunch here, let's go ahead and pull up StatCrunch. And so we can click here and it'll say Open StatCrunch. And you'll see that we have our list already carried over for us. So to get it to where it says everything is sorted from lowest to highest, we can go to Data and then here click Sort, and we're clicking the column Variable 1 or var 1, and then you see how it says Sort in Ascending, and then we click Compute. And so from there you see that we have all of our ages in ascending order. So from there you'll see that for the 50s we need to partition or break up our ages from 50 to 54, and then from 55 to 59. And so that's what that statement means when you see it here that says, and let me pull this down, that says use a stem and leaf plot that has 2 rows for each stem. Okay. So going back to StatCrunch now, we see that if we're going to do a stem and leaf plot, we need to know what those leaves are going to be, since we're already told what our stems are. So what I'm going to do is bring up another document here, and we're going to write this out so we can see what it is before we actually start to type it into our MyStatLab fields. So looking here, we know that we're going to have a class that's going to be from 50 to 55, or 50 to 54 I should say. We're going to have another one from 55 to 59, or have one from 60 to 64, and then we'll have another one from 65 to 69, and then we will have 70 to 74. And of course, this first one here is what the first 5 is. This is the second 5. This is the third one, which is the first 6, the second 6, and then we have the 7. So here is our stems. And so now we'll just look at StatCrunch and we will write what our leaves are. So of course the first one is 50 to 54. We see we have 152. We have 3 53s. So that's what would go here. So 152 and 1, 2, 3 53s. We don't have any 54s. So when we go to 55, we see that we have 2 of those, 2 55s, 1 58, and 2 59. So we'll go ahead and write that. So 2 55s, we have 1 58, and we have 2 59s. After that we move on. We see that we do not have, we have a 60. So we have 1 of those. We have 2 62s, and we have 1 64. And then after that we see that we don't have 65, but we do have 166. And we see that in the next class, which is 70 to 74, we have 1, which is just 73. And so this is how our stem and leaf plot will look. And so all we need to do is to make sure that we type in what I've written here into MyStatLab. So now we'll go ahead and type this in. All right, so now that we have this done here, let's go ahead and type everything in. So we have 2, 3, 3, 3 in our first stem, and our next is 5, 5, 8, 9, 9, and in our next one we have 0, 2, 2, 4. Next is 6, and next is 3. So this should be everything that we need in ascending order. All right, so now we'll check our answer. We see that everything is okay. So now we'll move on to the second part. And so it says, which of the following best summarizes what the stem and leaf plot tells you about the data? And so if we look at it, we see that out of the 15 university presidents, 13 of them are in between the ages of roughly 50 to 65, okay, with a few outliers at 66, 73. So if that's the case, then C looks like it's the best answer. Of course, the plot shows that most university presidents have ages that range from 50 to 65 years old. Of course, we know D isn't correct because we only have 2 university presidents that are there. And we know that the ages do not cluster around 60 because, again, we have a lot of them that are in their 50s. So if it was clustering around 60, then we would have something like 58, 59, and then 60, 61, 62, and most of the ages would be around there. So C looks like it's the best answer, and we see that ends up being correct. And so this concludes the example on how to do stem and leaf plots using MyStatLab and StatCrunch. The last thing I want to show you is how you could possibly do the same sort of sorting thing but use Excel. And so pulling up an Excel file here. So we can come here again and say open Excel. And once we're there, we'll just pull up the file. So I have it down here, so I'll go ahead and pull it up. And let me get it to where everything will fit into the window here. And so you see that we have our list here. And so what I'm going to do is just make a space for myself, insert a space, and then after that I'm going to click this whole column here and just click this little icon which tells me to filter. And so once I'm done with that, I can click and then just say do everything ascending. And you'll see that I have everything in the same order as I had it before, where at cell A2 is where you start. And the reason I moved it down is because you see how we have this little icon here in cell A1, that may block your number. So you want to make sure that you can actually see your numbers. So that's why I just moved down one. And of course you see everything is in ascending order, and we still have 15. And of course from there you can still form your stem and leaf plot. So I hope this particular video is informational to you. Hope it helps you out a lot, and thanks for checking it out.